The Spanish flu was a sickness going around in 1918. Now you might be thinking, the sickness originated in Spain, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Its origins are unknown. It's most likely from Asia, though. That's where most influenza viruses come from. It was probably carried over by a bird. Okay, so if it's not from Spain, why is it called the Spanish flu? The first reported case of the flu occurred at Camp Fuston, Kansas, on March 11th, 1918. Because of World War I, newspapers tried to keep the Spanish flu out of the newspapers. It was not allowed to be written. They did this so that it wouldn't cause commotion with the war already going on. In Spain, however, you were allowed to write that in the newspapers. The King of Spain got the Spanish flu, and since Spain was one of the only countries to report it, it was believed that Spain got hit extremely hard with the virus and that it may even have originated in Spain. Obviously, that was not the case, but people back then didn't know that. The symptoms of the Spanish flu include a high fever, an awful headache, stomach bug, achy eyeballs, husky throat, a chilly feeling, an extremely painful cough. You couldn't even attempt to get up, sick to the stomach, and nosebleed. Pneumonia and pulmonary edema caused people to suffocate because of the stuff that was built up in their lungs. To treat this disease back then, people would wear greased clothes, place a hot water bottle on their throat or chest, and just like in today's COVID-filled world, they would also wear masks. Schools were shut down along with churches, theaters, and cities. Even though this slowed down the spread, it didn't stop it completely. Obviously, the Spanish flu is a type of flu. The flu is a respiratory virus. The flu is anywhere, so if you touch something or someone that has the flu, then touch your face, you will become infected. Because of this, it was very easy to get infected, and it spread quickly. 1/3 of the world was infected with the Spanish flu at that time. The death rate was 10 to 15 million in just 15 months. That's so many people, and if you compare that to the deaths in World War I, the Spanish flu deaths are 5 times greater than that. If you are under the ages of 5, between the ages of 20 to 40, or 65 plus years of age, and you were infected with the flu, your mortality rate was extremely high. Not only did the Spanish flu destroy people's lives, but it also destroyed the economy. People had to shut down their businesses, leaving millions of people unemployed. In 1919, the Spanish flu pretty much ended. People who had the virus either died or developed immunity. In the 1990s, scientists identified preserved lung tissue of the people who had the virus. This tissue still contained genetic information from the Spanish flu virus. Other than this, we don't have much more knowledge about the virus to this day. Here's just some more interesting facts I learned. First off, the Spanish flu came in waves. The first wave, people who got the Spanish flu weren't affected that bad. In fact, they thought they just had the common flu at the time. The second wave, however, was when things got more serious. The death rate was higher then. Another cool fact I learned is that the Spanish flu made people's life expectancy drop by a dozen years if they had the virus. Lastly, I learned that babies who were born during the Spanish flu turned out to be shorter than the average person. That's it for my presentation. I researched this because I wanted to learn more about a global pandemic in the past, just like we're dealing with a global pandemic today. I wanted to see how people back then dealt with something that we're dealing with now.